Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday, Tops. It's your favorite day. Hump Hump Wednesday? Hump Day? Hump Day? It's midweek. Um yeah. I didn't vlog yesterday just because there was so much stuff that had to be done for vlog 23 and there wasn't really much to update you guys on. In terms of today, I'm going back to yoga. I signed up for a gym membership, and part of that was to have unlimited access to yoga classes. I've done yoga throughout my many years of going to the gym, and it's the one that has most resonated with me in terms of just the slowness, but also the ability to move and stretch the body. So I'm very excited to go back. I will report back on how I felt afterwards. And yeah, that's kind of the big update. Yuki's doing fantastic. His cone is finally off. His wounds are almost healed. He is energetic and going crazy. Currently reading two books simultaneously. One we'll probably talk about later in the week because I'm relatively in its early stages. It's also just very prose heavy. So I'm trying to still kind of figure out what the premise of the book is, what the messaging the author's trying to say. It's a memoir. It's very beautiful and it's very haunting and challenging. But I want to kind of give myself these books that push my reading and push my way of thinking. The other book is Herculine by Byron. It made the rounds last October. It's a trans narrative focused on a narrator and their connection to spirituality, their connection to their transness. It's kind of haunting. There's a little bit of spookiness to it, and it's set in this commune in Indiana, so some weird stuff happens. Yeah, so far I'm really into it. It really does touch on this kind of way of thinking where it's we feel so isolated when we see everyone else's success, and then when the singular I is always kind of failing, it's hard to kind of feel like moving forward, and all you kind of really want to do is run away. But yeah, that's just the first quarter of it. I'm really loving it. It's absolutely, I don't want to say insane, but it's just one of those kind of books that I feel like I'm going to enjoy it. The lines are very sharp, they're witty, they're funny. I love that there are more books now about trans lives and trans literature. Oh, and if you hear huffing and puffing, that's Yuki just below. He was playing. But yeah, those are kind of my two books going hand to hand. Other than that, there's nothing really to update you guys on. I'm just relatively slow, kind of waiting to hear back from some jobs, and yeah, just kind of daydreaming and seeing what I can make of my day. Oh, I also had therapy yesterday. That was a big one. That was a heavy one. We talked about innocence and we talked about forgiveness and just wanting to be able to move forward. Draw really big subjects and all had a lot of heavy weight behind them. But yeah. Okay. I hope you tops have a fantastic Wednesday, and I will see you all soon. Bye. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday, tops. Welcome back. It is Wednesday, right? No, it's Thursday. Yeah. Days. Not really existent up here. Happy Thursday. I had yoga yesterday. If you hear beeping, Yuki is playing with his squeaky toy right now. And if I take it away, he's going to be pissy. So please bear with me. This is just life of having a pet dog. But I had yoga last night. It was phenomenal. I haven't done a yoga class in over a year, which was wild to me. And I thought I would be very rusty. Luckily, I wasn't. I still have to work on my balance poses, but it was nice to just move. And I got home and I was so tired and just fully KO'd. Today, I'm definitely feeling this pain. I'm sore in my shoulders, I'm sore in my hips, but I'm really grateful that I started yoga again, and it was just nice to move my body and have an hour just completely to myself with no thoughts of anything else. But yeah, that's the big update. In terms of additional life stuff, there really hasn't been much going on. Today was relatively slow. I have been pretty much at home, and then I had to go out and get some groceries. I'm thinking of what I'm going to make for dinner, either an orzo salad or ordering pizza, but still unsure of which one it will be. And then I've been actively reading. It's been nice to have two books on the go. I noticed that I like being able to switch between the two. So if I'm not feeling one, I can read the other. In terms of the main book that I'm going to be talking about on the channel, being Herculine by Byron, it's really interesting. It's very, I don't want to say it's intense, but there is this like darkness to it. And I just love the way she talks about transness and that experience of being othered, but also kind of trying to understand what you're doing with your day to day life when you feel like everyone else around you is succeeding and you're not. I'm liking the little bit of supernatural elements to it. It's really the right amount of spookiness to it. This is just like the perfect sprinkle, and I'm interested in seeing how the narrator and her ex are going to get along with now that the narrator is going to this like all trans commune in Indiana. So, fingers crossed. I'll let you know how that goes. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's it's very quick read, and I try to not. I don't want to finish it too quickly because there is just something really special about like reading it in chunks. In terms of the second book, it's a very slow read. I'm literally only like 25 pages in. But once I get to the 50-page mark, I will probably feel more comfortable talking about on the channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, yeah, there's not really much else to update you guys on. It's been really slow, and I don't mind it. I'm kind of enjoying the I'm enjoying the time to just be able to like breathe again, if that makes sense. Other than that, I will let you tops go. Enjoy the beautiful Thursday, and I will see you all tomorrow. All right. Bye. Good morning, tops. Happy Friday, everyone. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Kinda. It's actually quite windy here in Toronto, and kind of gray, but the positive side is that we are a week away from June, which is wild to me. We are in the peak or the start of Gemini season. So that always gets me excited because I am a Gemini and my birthday is coming up. So those are two things that I'm looking forward to, which is funny because last week I was very upset with myself. I was like, oh, birthday's coming up. I don't really feel like celebrating. I feel like I've wasted a year, which I also had to kind of ask myself, well, have I really wasted a year? What am I really upset about? And I don't know. All in all, I just was like, I shouldn't be mad. I shouldn't be upset with myself. I shouldn't hate myself. Like, my birthday's my birthday. I've I've done a lot of growing and a lot of reflecting this year, and those are a lot of things that I'm really grateful for. I'm learning to trust myself, and that's not an easy process to do. And also learning to kind of move through the emotions, which feels like a continuous lesson. But yeah, that's kind of the big life update. Ooh, I'm also going to my second yoga class tonight. I'm very excited. It's nice to kind of get back into the rhythm of things. I'm still slightly sore, but you know, that kind of good sore that you feel like your body's waking up. So I'm excited to kind of get moving and feel the tensions kind of release. Um, but yeah, in terms of reading, I am at the halfway mark for Herculine by Grace Byron. I love this book. It's a very fast paced book. It moves really beautifully. Byron has such a way of being concrete with her words and painting a picture of transness, which in a time we need, and vocalizing the kind of fears and frustrations and insecurities that trans bodies may carry. I love the way that Byron also tethers paranormality with transness, because at times I feel like maybe I'm not trans myself, but as what I see from a society's point of view is that society tends to fear transness, especially the far right. And so there is always this otherness and monsterly kind of fear. So I love the way that Byron kind of tethers that in. I find that our narrator is really interesting. She has this past trauma of being in a Christian cult that also forced her to go through conversion therapy. Long story short, she still ended up being one of the dolls, and we love her for that. But through this kind of trauma that she went through, she's reconnecting with an ex that she continuously talks to, Ash, who also is a doll, but more in the line of kind of butch lesbian doll vibes, which we love also. And Ash has started this commune, which, I don't know, borderline gives me cult vibes, but I'm not sure. It definitely has some sort of like yellow jacket undertones to it, which I love. Again, with the paranormal, with the kind of queer codedness of an all woman group, and also that kind of otherness through the trans lens. It's really fascinating. I was one of the sections that I read. There's a scene where our narrator is sitting at the dinner table with all the other girls that are in this commune, and she noticed one looking at her, and then she looks away, and that girl isn't there. And in the margins I wrote, I wonder if this girl was a sacrifice, or there's some sort of satanic cult like structure that Ash might be sacrificing these younger girls in order to gain a sense of stability, or maybe it isn't that, but because our narrator has this empathic sense to the other world, and she notices kind of demons and spirits. I feel like there is like this undertone. We're also finally getting a tertiary character, which kind of feels like a love triangle vibe. Her name is Indigo, because what trans woman do you not know that wouldn't be called Indigo? I love that she has a bow and arrow. It's very much hunter vibe, gatherer. So I'm really intrigued how our narrator and Indigo will interact and the kind of maybe love dynamic that will form there. But we will see. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. At first I wasn't sure about it because I'm always a little hesitant with horror queer novels, but I'm really here for it. I think Byron does a beautiful job, and it's one of those books that I feel like is really needed for our time now, especially with everything that's happening against trans bodies, and we need to gather and support our trans brothers and sisters. But yeah, other than that, I have not touched the other book. I don't even want to talk about the other book because I'm so unsure what I'm reading. It is a challenge. It's one of those books that's really much for the literary girly, and I want to challenge myself reading, but also trying to figure out how to talk about it is strange. So I might jot some notes and see if I can mind map a way to have a conversation and present the second book to you guys. Other than that, there's not really much to update you guys on. May's kind of coming to an end. It's been relatively slow, which is always, it used to be very daunting for me, and now I'm trying to embrace that. I told my therapist that I never really have had time to just be myself. And so I'm trying to really embrace that slowness and embrace the need not to consistently move. So, yeah, I hope you tops have a fantastic Friday. And I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.
To run over to the post office to pick up Eileen's harness.
Good morning. Happy Monday, tops. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Let's play a brief recap. On Friday, I had my second class of yoga. I was hurting. It was a very intense session, and there were a lot of flow poses and a lot of key poses that I haven't done in a while, and so my entire body was up in flames essentially. Saturday I definitely did feel the burn, but yeah, I'm happy I'm doing it. I have another class tonight, so I'm very excited to just keep going with my yoga practice for now. In terms of reading, I will be honest with you, tops. I did not read at all this weekend. I did not read Pierre Guyotat's Idiocy, which is the tough memoir book that I've been reading, and I did not read Grace Byron's Herculine, even though I have 100 pages left of that one. It was just a very gloomy, sad kind of weekend, and as much as I was trying to pick up a book, I just really wanted to lay in bed, and I think that's okay. Sometimes we just have those days and we accept them. In terms of the two books, there's not really much to update you guys on. Herculine by Grace Byron. For Pierre, Guyotat's Idiocy, it's challenging for me. There's a lot of beautiful prose, but also the way Guyotat kind of flows through his words is quite challenging. And so I'm trying to remain present as I'm reading it. But sometimes I'll read a section and then I question being like, what did I just read? I don't get it. And so I have to like sit with it. So it is taking me a lot longer to try to kind of find and discover things. So bear with me. This is my challenging reading, but I think it's always important to kind of challenge yourself as readers and get out of your comfort zone. So here I am. In terms of the rest of the weekend, so yeah, I really didn't do much. I just kind of laid around. Yuki had a checkup. It was very much just be slow, drink some tea, and call it a day. Yeah. In terms of the rest of the week, I have to finish writing my editor's note for Periodical's first issue and send that off to print. I've been actively avoiding it, honestly, out of kind of fear, because if I actually finish this editor's note and send it, then it will actually become a real thing, and a lot of that is quite intimidating. So kind of taking my time with it, but I also know that it has to get done, and so I will spend some time today just writing my first draft, stepping away from it, and then coming back to it tomorrow or Wednesday with fresh eyes, and then editing it down to where it needs to go into the actual zine. But I'm very proud. The zine is literally 95% done. It's just these like key little things to finish up and send it to print, and a physical copy will be here in a span of like 3 to 5 days, if I remember what the printer said. So I'm excited. Other than that, there's not really much else going on this week. I'm seeing a couple friends. I'm seeing a friend tomorrow for coffee, playing catch up. I'm seeing 2 friends on Friday. We're doing a Hacks finale screening, and I'm making a special non-alcoholic cocktail for all 3 of us. And then yeah, Sunday we're having dinner with friends of ours with Andrew, and then Friday and Saturday as well. So it's gonna be a lot of eating and seeing friends, and I'll try to record some of that stuff for you tops. But yeah, other than that, it's just gonna be slow. It's gonna be me chipping away at this editor's note and sending off Periodical issue 1. But yeah, all right. I hope you tops have a fantastic week. I will see you all tomorrow, and I wanted to say thank you. And I look forward to talking to you guys in the comments. Please let me know what you've been reading, what you've been watching, and what you've been listening to. Ooh. I'll add in the show note, in the notes below, but Andrew and I started this. Actually, it's quite terrifying for me because I'm not a horror lover. He loves it. It was slightly too intense for me, but some of the camera movements and the way the score is set up was just so beautiful. I don't remember the name, but it's a new horror show on Netflix, and I'll add it below. I found it really intriguing from a creative perspective, not a me loving horror perspective. But again, trying to break out of comfort zones, and that's a very uncomfortable zone for me to be in. All right, I'm gonna let you go because I'm rambling. I love you. I'll see you later, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Bye, tops.